Coming live through your speakers.
And right about now, you're tuned into the Rockwell Radio Show.
You on the radio every day, using your fame as a DJ.
It's DJ Rockwell. You're rocking with DJ Rockwell.
Ladies and gentlemen, what's good? What's good? What's good? We are in the building. It is 314 day, and I am so happy to be live with you. This is your brother, DJ Rockwell, the nation's #1 DJ. This is the Rockwell Radio Show. Thank y'all all for tuning in, man. We want everybody to follow the 3 rules of the Rockwell Radio Show. They are as follows. We need everybody who is watching right about now to hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, and tag somebody to let them know you're rocking with DJ Rockwell, the nation's #1 DJ, and you are watching the Rockwell Radio Show. Hey, man, happy 314 day, y'all. Happy 314 day. I could not have picked a better day to come back. I get to do an episode of 314 day on 314 day. So that is dope, man. Let me tell the believers first and foremost, Assalamu alaikum. Let me also say to the believing family, Ramadan Mubarak. I hope everybody had an awesome Savior's Day. I sure did. Detroit was dope, and I had a great time seeing every single one of you. So we want to get this party started, because 314 day, man, is a special day. I know you like, yo, Vaughn, why on earth, bruh? You've been going for 30 years, man. Who you fooling, bro? You've been out the loo for 30 plus years. What you talking about some 314 day? You ATL all the way, bro. You see this red and white man? It's in my blood. I ain't going nowhere without it. So I will always be found representing St. Louis to the fullest. And today's episode will be proof of that. And let me again tell everybody before we get started, we want to make sure that everyone is aware that you can now also keep up with the Rockwell Radio Show on everywhere that streams are being heard. That's iHeart, that's Podbean, that's Apple, that's Amazon, that's Spotify. I'm telling y'all, Rockwell Radio Show is not playing. We not playing. We are everywhere. And if you didn't know, for those of you who keep up with NOI Hip Hop, well, what's NOI Hip Hop? NOI Hip Hop is that special kind of music that's made by those who are members of the nation, that you can call it that conscious hip hop. I finally released the 5th version of the mixtape. It is out there and it can be heard at places like SoundCloud. It can be heard on this YouTube channel. And I represent it, I think, quite lovely with this year's mix. So if you like conscious hip hop, that's a place to go for it. So let's get around to why we're here, man. Let's get around to why we're here. I'm very excited for this episode because we're going to talk to not one great human being, but 2. Not one great human being, but 2. In the second half of the show, we will talk to a brother who can be called nothing less than a legend. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm referring to King Odie, who's in the house with us right tonight. That's later for the second half of the show. But for the first half of the show is a brother, man, who was referred to me by 2 of my hip hop heroes. Now, speaking of hip hop heroes, did you see all the brothers in the intro? Did you see the legends in the intro? Did you see Pepe? Long live Pepe forever and forever. Long live our great, great, great hero, Jockestein, forever and forever. Did you see the great G Wiz, who is still with us, a living legend, and many, many more. Living legend, our brother, DJ Charlie Chan. I can list the names on and on and on. Living legend, my brother, DJ Casper. All of those were my OGs. And every time I'm on the air to celebrate 314 Day, I will always shout out their names and many, many more. But the brother you're about to meet right now was referred to me because I didn't know who I was going to talk to for this year's 314 Day. I didn't know, because on the first year that we celebrated on the Rockwell Radio Show, I had G Wiz. I had DJ Cut. Who else is there to talk to? But there's so many, many, many more. Today's brother is an MC who is no stranger in St. Louis, and he literally has the city on his back. I'm so proud of this brother because he is going to bring St. Louis to the forefront one more time for real hip hop. Before I introduce our brother, I want all of y'all to watch this.
Take you to a place where some look at it as it ain't safe. But when it comes to me, I look at it as it's just home. I'm sorry for the time I've been gone. Chill, I've been close by, just watching from afar. Mixed by Ali, call me a Lou nigga with sauce. Lunatic. Sorry, dear mama, number one is done with it. This is sun limits, all my dreams, and I had to run get them. Take all the credit for my birth, forget me here, I appreciate it. Tell Pop I love him, I call him later, he fixing alternators, I fix my... Whatever I've been through, yes I bleed. Got no minstrels, head over heels for this rap thing since Lisa Frank pencils. When I first started, wait, I needed a stencil. It was accidental, as straight all that really kept this confidential.
Y'all, right now, he's got a new album out. He just dropped it on his birthday. It's called Thoughts of KingSullivan. It's an 11 album banger. And I'm so proud to have this brother on my show for the first time. Please welcome a brand new guest to the Rockwell Radio Show, who I am so, so proud to call a new brother. Please welcome my brother, ReaceYung, y'all.
Peace, 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 champion. DJ Rockwell Word champion.
My man.
Appreciate it for having me, Dirty. I appreciate it.
Man, would you talk, brother? I am so honored to have you, Black brother. What you are doing for the city, bro, is worth a hat tip and much, much more, my brother. Let's jump right to it, man. And y'all, this brother took my call on a zero whim, a stranger, based on the two men who recommended me to you, G Wiz and DJ Big Trife. Salute to them two heroes of mine, man. Let's begin.
Shout out to G Wiz.
Oh man, those are my brothers. Those are my brothers for life. Let's start
DJ
here.
Rockwell, what up with you?
Man, bro. I want to start here, my brother. I want to start by talking about the environment that you came from. I want to know about something that produced a man who has a family that owned a record store, that grew up right on the north side of St. Louis. Yeah. A brother who came up in a trying part of the city, if you let me put it that way. A brother who went on to college, an entrepreneur, a visionary who had records that appeared on Billboard's Heat Seekers. Tell us about Sullivan. Tell us about Northside that created Brandon.
Hey man, Sullivan alone to me is the most beautiful part of St. Louis to me, because that's where I experienced some of the most greatest moments of my life and some of the most tragic moments of my life. And I wouldn't trade for it in the world, man. It taught me everything that I know today. You know, it's blessed. I'm blessed to be able to make it this far, because I know cats that didn't make it to C-17.
Come on,
you know, so it's a blessing to still be able to come out here and speak my gospel, and rap these stories, and it's a blessing that they being received the way that they are. I love Sullivan, most beautiful place ever to me.
I noticed on your album cover that I showed. Explain that cover to the people real quick.
That cover is just an embodiment of everything that the album represents. Me in different faces, me in different forms. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of different little landmarks that I wanted to highlight. And it's all about just coming from the super heart and just giving them that grittiness. That's really what that is, that super grittiness. And I ain't cuss on this one. G Wiz made sure I ain't cuss on it. And it's just packed full of gems. That's all. Gems to keep the culture pushing and moving forward in the city. And that's really what it's about. Full embodiment of Sullivan, full embodiment of me in a different form.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Brother, as I mentioned a moment ago,
if you've been rocking, my fault.
No, go ahead.
If you've been rocking with my other series and all my other albums all these years, you would know KingSullivan has this, it's a different shade kind of emerald. It's different. It don't sound like nothing. It don't sound like none of my other stuff. Shout out to my man Spoken Thought. He the one who put all that together. Shout out to my man MF Cool. He mixed it. And I recorded it all by myself. Last time I recorded an album or records period by myself was in 2008. Can y'all hear me?
Oh, loud and clear, my brother. You in here. You in here. I just want to make sure you finish your thought.
All right.
Ladies and gentlemen,
I recorded my joints.
Now go ahead. There might be a slight delay.
I recorded. Yeah, it's a slight delay, but it's all good. I normally have a team to record my stuff, but that's how things went this go round. So I recorded it all myself, and Rimrod mastered it, and here we are today. February 28th. I didn't want another birthday to pass up, and I didn't have a release date. It's my album release date.
As I was saying a moment ago, you came highly recommended by not just some average cats, but by some very notable people from the city, Wiz and Trife. So those are men I got a great deal of respect for, as many in the city do. Those are the people who I call my OGs and mentors. Who are yours?
My pop.
Say that.
My pop is definitely my OG and mentor. My mother, my OG and my mentor. For some music, I don't really have with Black group OG mentors, and that's pretty much where it stopped at. My grandmother, she's not alive no more. Rest her soul. She definitely was a big. G Wiz, we definitely lock in a lot. That's my man. He always kept me on point, and he always gave me the biggest blessings any indie artist could have by just giving platforms. So he's definitely one of my mentors. Charlie Chan, I always rocked with him. You know what I'm saying? This was very influential for us, the legacy that I wanted to embody. And that's pretty much, where I'm at with it.
Come on now, brother.
I look back on a lot of my old creations. I get inspired by a lot of my old work, what I'm saying, from back in the day. So whenever I look like I want to be inspired by something, I don't go listen to nothing else but my work. And sometimes it happens, sometimes it don't, if that makes sense.
Okay, that's rare. That's rare. Most of us pull our inspiration from outside sources, but you telling me right now you dig inwards. Is that what I'm hearing you say?
Yes, sir. When you got a catalog that stem over 60 albums, you know what I'm saying, you can easily go back and in the chapters and capture whatever you want to capture. or be influenced by whatever you want to be influenced by. I don't think I'm near as good as I used to be back in the days, but I'm catching up.
Come on now, I heard that. Ladies and
If that
gentlemen, we
make any
got
kind of sense.
ReaceYung in the house. Matter of fact, school us real quick about the name.
ReaceYung, that's all of my rap names I've ever had combined into one. I've had so many aliases over the years that have been, I inspired some friends back in the days and they ran with certain names that I had. My first rap name used to be Gossip because I talk a lot, and that's where the G come from. You know what I mean? And that didn't really, my lifespan in that time space really didn't last long because, hey, I just kept growing. But ReaceYung comes from all of my aliases that I've had since I started making hip hop music, combined all into one.
Okay, let's keep rolling real quick, dear brother. We use 314 Day, big bro, to show our pride in the city, obviously. In hip hop, it's common for MCs to show love to their city, but in your catalog, big bro, you go above and beyond in your representation of Duluth. And in some cases, and unfortunately, that support don't come back in some cases. And you and I kind of talked candidly about that in a conversation last night. Have you ever felt like as a result of that, you wanted to ease up on the red and white?
Nah, not never. First off, the city, they know how to support, but they don't in the same sense.
Talk about
that. Used to bother me as a young MC that people didn't support the way that I wanted them or needed them to support. But as they become more familiar, that comes. Support happens effortlessly when people are familiar with things. And I got a lot of things in my way in the city. That's why I've been around the whole state. And man, I never really thought about hanging up the red and white just because of the support. I'm gonna get them hip. They catching on. I got faith. We'll say it's gonna take me 50 years. I say I'm willing to put that time in.
Come on, man. Come on. That's what I'm talking about. If it come too easy, we don't want it. That's how you earn the support.
We'll say it'll take me 50 years to do it. Nobody else was able to do it for us breaking through that threshold and wheeling in St. Louis the proper way. And I told him I wasn't leaving, so I'm just fighting through it, bro.
Man,
regardless of people, I'm still.
Say that last part. You broke up a little bit. Say the last thing one more time.
I say I'm still here, regardless if the city's supporting or not. I'm still here building while they watch.
While they watch, that's what's up. We had a great convo last night, and I'm really glad that we did. It served as a kind of a preliminary icebreaking convo over the phone, and we got a chance to get familiar with who we each other are. And we talked about your sound. We talked about the sound of Reese, which, in my estimation, I haven't heard from nobody else in the city. It is nothing like those in the city who came before you. Obviously, there's the Nellies, there's the Chingies, there's the Hueys, there's the list goes on. And what they have in common is they came out on dance songs, big dance records, up tempo. That ain't your thing. Your stilo is straight up bars and beats. Was that, and as you mentioned earlier, you don't do a lot of cussing in your records, if any at all, on this whole album. Was that intentional, and has that music found its audience yet, in your opinion?
It's once again, as we stated last night, it was a choice to dive down the conscious realm of hip hop coming from St. Louis. And I would notice early on that we had a lot of dance music, and we just had, when it comes to the hip hop culture, we just had vacant spaces that needed to be fulfilled, and certain people didn't care to fulfill them. So I always told myself if it was an artist from St. Louis that I could pay that made the type of music that I wanted to hear, I would work a regular job and buy his records and support him. But it wasn't. So I had to jump into that space and make the type of records that I know that I wanted to hear coming from the city because everybody, we all around here dancing and having fun and partying and all of that. We doing we've been doing that, but it's like we just ignoring this. We're ignoring the important factor of hip hop and the culture of it. We just ignoring it like it doesn't matter. Like just put up and fulfill that void. And I've been here since '99, and I'm gonna keep being here.
Last night I asked you this question in our conversation, and I wanted to bring it to the rest of the audience as well. I asked you about being labeled a new jack. He knew St. Louis, but people don't know you got 7 albums under your belt and been doing this for 20 years. Does that annoy you when you get called a new jack?
No, sir, I love it. You know what I mean? I love it with passion. I love it. I feel like a dinosaur with different skin on them. I feel like a complete dinosaur in disguise. I love it. And I love when they label me as a new artist because to a lot of these new faces, I am new. But I'm not new to the ones that been having their eyes open, you know. And I love it. That don't bother me one bit, man. I wouldn't change it for nothing. A lot of the old school people they didn't care to hear me. A lot of people say I was too wordy. I mean, they used to throw me for a loop in the early 2000s. Oh man, you too wordy. You use too many words. I mean, some of these new schoolers, you know, they really they rocking with me, and I appreciate it, bro, for sure. And I wouldn't change it for nothing. I love it.
So how do you know what are some of the things that you're experiencing that let you know your music is finding a home in people?
People actually paying for it. You know, people reaching out to me. People reaching out to me saying my music saved them from divorces. My records, the constant validation that I don't ask for from the universe. I just put my creations out there, and it just comes to me, and I'm forever grateful for that.
Come on, man.
Best feeling in the world.
How do you define your sound? As I mentioned, and I'm sure for those who heard the clips I played in the intro of you, it's distinctly different from anything else that's out of the loop right now. How do you define that?
I define the top shelf saying was rap. Nothing more, nothing less.
Say it one more time. You broke up. Say it one more time.
I defined it as top shelf. I defined it simply as top shelf St. Louis rap.
Top shelf St. Louis rap. Y'all heard my brother. Come on, man.
That's what I define it as. I wouldn't have it no other way. Complete class of my own. And I don't have to worry about nobody in my lane. I don't have to worry about nobody sounding like me. I don't have to worry about that because it's extremely original. I don't be on YouTube, download random beats. Nah, I've been rocking with the same producers for 20 plus years.
Consistency.
And these guys know me, so we just souping up, man. Hey man, I could say a lot of things, but I'm just blessed to still be able to be here and do this.
Come on, man. Come on,
So
man.
every time I turn in a body of work, what was saying?
No, go ahead.
Every time I turn in a body of work, it's just like a different aura energy that I get blessed with. Kind of like when you turn in your reports in school, you get a grade.
Mm.
You know, from the atmosphere, when I go harness all this energy, and I go focus it and I turn it in. I get a grade for it, and those be the blessings that make my music go further. And the more I understand about this world, the more I understand about my consciousness and my mind and how I'm able to just manifest whatever I want when it comes to this thing, just by keeping my hands clean and keep putting God first. I mean, I'm able to do a lot of things straight up. It's not
Look,
just me. It's the creator of the universe helping me do this. It's not just me.
one of the things that, brother, for you to stand out to me about you is bigger than music. It's your
Right.
heart. It comes through in the music. It's authentic. It has not just meaning. There's a sense of sincerity. You don't come across as a rapper that's just trying to sell me records. You're not coming across somebody. You really want me to understand something. And one of the examples on the album that accomplished that for me is your song, Whole Neighborhood. Since this is 314 Day and we all out here repping for the city and whatnot, you said something very special and very specific about something that you wish to accomplish. I want to do what we call around here in the Rockwell Radio Show, the bar exam, is where we put some lyrics that you said on the board and we kind of dissect what you said. Here's something that you said. Matter of fact, this was the second verse of Whole Neighborhood. You said, "This land a part of me, kind of made what started me. My whole neighborhood, yeah, I love it wholeheartedly. A lot of it's vacant, had to find proper statements, fix it all up, and make sure the family proper stationed. One day I'm about to make this whole thing private. What I'm approved is my hood, my island. I work for it all. Got to protect it from the pirates. Land so ran down, I had to cover up my eyelids." Man, that's not the words of somebody just rapping. And I shared with you something last night that I see. I drew a correlation from something that the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan asked of us. He asked of us, and all Black men in particular, to make our communities a safe and decent place to live. And what I want to ask you is, tell me about where that song came from for you, and why were you so passionate about this subject?
Well, my investor, shout out to my man, and he rebuilds homes. He's a realtor here in St. Louis, and he just so happened to be on my neck of the woods this go round. And he said some inspiring things to me about the schools and everything just being so ran down and everything. And his voice and my pop voice was in my head at the same time. And he was saying, man, you need to get some of these homes, man, and fix them all up and protect our people and isolate it to where people can't reach us. And it just stuck with me. It just stuck with me for it's like it centered my spirit. It gave me more purpose. And that when I went in with that record, that's the vision that I wanted. I wanted to embody so much more than what people can hear. You know what I'm saying? I wanted people to be able to see visually what I'm saying. And that's where I was at with it. That record has so much inside of it personally that it just automatically stood out to me. Whole neighborhood. I want I want every house on my block when I get a chance to take care of it. I want it all. I don't want to be up here in these big mansions and all this other funny fugazi stuff that I don't really understand, or I don't really, it really wasn't my thing. I would rather have things that I grew up seeing my whole entire life. You know what I'm saying? And I want it all. Kind of like what's that comedian name? Mike Epps. Just like Mike Epps. Mike Epps went and bought his whole neighborhood. He helped influence that too. Just the thought of it. You
Come
know,
on.
him going to get his neighborhood, things that he's seen, and you know, things that make him feel centered when he closes his eyes at night. That's where I was at with that record.
We coming to the bottom of this segment. I want to ask maybe one or two more questions, big brother. And again, thank y'all. Ladies and gentlemen, we got my brother, ReaceYung from St. Louis, holding down St. Louis heavily, as you can see right now, holding down the city. Thank you. I want to ask a second part of that question. What can the St. Louis hip hop community do together to help achieve that kind of vision, in your estimation?
Man, we have to work together first and foremost. Like I'm a hint on other communities that I'm a part of across this country, as far as different groups and you know, affiliated with different groups across the country, as far as people that help independent artists. But here in St. Louis, we got to learn how to stop gatekeeping and help one another, man. We got to stop that. Like, and I thrive off being a connector in St. Louis. If it's an artist that don't know something or need to be connected in a certain way, and I can help, I always help and expect nothing in return. You know what I'm saying? Because
Come on.
we need to improve on that. You like we are just as good as all these other places.
Right.
We are just as good, if not better. We just have to stop. We just have to stop hating on each other and holding each other down in the wrong way, man. That's it. We'll be just as strong as any one of these other regions, man. But it's everybody just we built up in St. Louis. We built up with that. Nah, we engineered. Some of us are engineered with so much hate. You know what I'm saying? That we don't understand how to support or love for real. Going down south, I'll switch it up. Going down south really opened my eyes in a different way. I learned something called Southern hospitality.
Talk about it. Talk about it.
And being in St. Louis, St. Louis native, that was the most shifting, shocking type of thing when it comes to my energy, because everybody was so welcoming and warm and nice. You know what I'm saying? And being from the city, I'm not used to that. I wasn't used to that at all. But going down south, everybody just helping each other. Why you think they thrive in the way they thrive? Because it ain't everybody just don't want to be that guy. Everybody want to do their thing, but everybody ain't hating on each other. St. Louis music scene, St. Louis, it ain't just the music scene. It's all around business. It's all type of things here that I've tried to cross link and network, and I've had some little issues because people not used to working with each other. Like I had an instance where I showed a brother my album before it hit the Billboard charts. We right here in St. Louis. He kind of, and I ain't gonna say his name because I don't want to embarrass him. But this is a true story. I showed him my album, played it for him and everything. We here in St. Louis. We on the same soil, same air, breathing the same air, drinking the same water. You hear me? And he kind of just played it to the left. He played it to the left, like, all right, whatever. All right, cool. That's cool, whatever. Next thing you know, I was in LA with his partners, and he ain't think I knew them. And they was like, "You from St. Louis? Oh, let me get you on the horn with my mans." They partner was my partner. They didn't know that I was linked in already.
Small
So
world.
the cat that was ignoring me, his partners call him, and we in a whole nother region. We're in a whole nother part of the country. Same dude, same fella. God just be lining things up for you, boy, because I keep my hands clean. You hear me? And I say he put me on the phone with him, and I didn't pull his coattail. I didn't embarrass him. All he could do was smile. I say,
well
hey, it's
played.
good seeing you again, brother.
Well played.
I hope it's love next time when you see me in the city. I hope it's love. And he said, man, say less. Ever since then, we had no issues. But St. Louis, you know, we're not so privy to rocking with somebody out the gate. I don't know. It's all about who introduced us. It's all about how the connection starts. And it's all about who you know. You know what I
Facts.
mean? And that's pretty much it, man. We'll be a lot better place if we learn to stop putting so much scrutiny on everyone and just help each other as a
Ladies and
collective
gentlemen,
unit.
come on.
All these artists, we need to just be supporting each other, man. Straight up.
The city could be so much better. Ladies and gentlemen, ReaceYung is in the building. My brother, this is my last question for this segment. And I got this last question
Yes, sir.
from something I saw you say on another interview. And I look at so many of us in my generation that came along about we had to leave the loo to find what we were looking for. We had to load up our cars, buy that plane ticket, and get up out of there to find success. And I'm gonna put that in air quotes for a reason. I'll get to that in a minute. Somebody asked you a question about, would you ever consider leaving the loo? This is what you said.
And you say traveling, so how do you feel about leaving the loo?
I always leave.
I mean, like leaving, like for good, like or Missouri, period.
I didn't want to be one of those artists that feel that they needed to leave Missouri to be hot in another place, because that's a story a lot of places, and that's the story for a lot of artists here.
Yeah.
You know, and I wanted to go against the grain and just still be here. Like when I leave, the whole state gonna know. Missouri gonna know that ReaceYung is our golden boy. That's my whole thing. You know, as long as I'll leave when they know that I'm the golden boy here.
All right, my brother. Do you still feel the same?
Wholeheartedly. I don't know what happened to the video. Wholeheartedly, I still feel the same. I never wanted to. Don't get me wrong. I've been discouraged a lot. You know, I had some of my producers have stopped me from being homeless in New York City.
Come on.
For leaving and not want and to go build another bridge somewhere else. But I felt that I didn't want that to be a part of my story. You know what I'm saying? Everything here, I built everything here. You know what I'm saying? Why leave just because things ain't working in my favor? You know what I'm saying? That means work harder.
Listen to that. Come on.
You know what I'm saying? To me, that means work harder and be more creative. And now we in a space to where we're able to do that. We got all these crazy new apps and all this funny technology and things now to help things out. And man, I'm just going nowhere, man. I ain't going nowhere. I'm gonna be right here doing what I'm doing, building how I'm building, executing, still believing, still dreaming, still doing what the creator put me here to do. I ain't going nowhere, man. Missouri in my blood, St. Louis to me. And we got a lot more of the things to tackle. I mean, you leave when you accomplish something. You know what I'm saying? Like, still got a lot more to accomplish. You know, the Billboard stuff. That stuff was cool. Don't get me wrong, but the generations don't really respect that. They don't understand that. A lot of things that these kids these days don't really understand is things that ain't easily attainable. They don't understand it. Billboard status that ain't easy to attain. You got to really understand this business out the right way and make it happen for real. Get people to really buy your record. And
come on, man.
If you can't just go buy some numbers and jack your plays up, I mean, these kids ain't really checking for real. But I choose to take the real accolades instead of the plastic ones. And
say that.
That's where I'm gonna be at, man. I got so much more work to do, and I ain't stopping nothing. And I appreciate you having me, Rockwell. And I can't wait to come back. You dig?
Come on, my brother. So let's spend this last few seconds. Give me 60 seconds real quick and tell the people about this outstanding album called KingSullivan.
Man, look, Thoughts of KingSullivan. It's my 7th body of work, all recorded by me. It's just a breath of fresh air when it comes to hip hop. St. Louis hip hop at that. And if you're a supporter, you love to support. If you're eager to check out something that ain't got nothing to do with violence, your kids can listen to this. Check it out. It's fire. I put my heart and soul into everything that I do. I got some joints on there that may be a little too short, but that meant the hip hopness was a little too high. And I didn't want it to go a little bit over everybody's head. So, I mean, it's a beautiful body of work. Check it out. It speaks for itself. It's going to keep speaking. It's out here for the world to have now. It's out of my brain. All of that started just inside of my brain. You mean, and how it sounds all tightened up and recorded. It's a beautiful body of work, and I'm proud of it. Go check it out. If you support,
ladies and gentlemen,
pay for it. What's that?
My brother ReaceYung, thank you, black man, for being with your little brother today, man. It means the world to me.
My man.
With success with this project.
Word.
And man, the Rockwell Radio Show is home for you. You welcome back any time, my brother.
Yes, sir. It's always a pleasure. I appreciate it, champ, and I definitely will be back. I got something else coming too. We ain't done. Everywhere else but here, dropping in a few months. We're going to be right back at it again.
All right, now coming up next is that legend, my OG, King Odie. Y'all don't go away. This is the Rockwell Radio Show,
Peace.
celebrating 3-1-4 day. Be right back after these messages.
What up with it, man? You already know what time it is. It's me, Young Kind of Don. I'm up in this thing.
This is Azim, the kid Kareem, the life giving MC. Greetings, everyone. This is Brother Anthony K. Muhammad, also known as A-Tone, the hip-hop historian.
Peace, family. What's going on? It's Brother Jabril, Brother Mustafa, Lordship Productions in the building.
I am your sister, Arian Nicole. Peace, peace, peace. It's your sister, Sue Axel. You're watching the Rockwell Radio Show.
You are now tuned in live to the Rockwell Radio Show.
Right now, you're listening to Rockwell Radio Show.
Rockwell Radio. If you ain't listening, man, you wasting time. You on all these other stations, you need to tap in. Rockwell Radio.
You know what it is. Watch them, watch them, watch them.
I'm here with Brother Rockwell, the Rockwell Radio Show.
You ain't in the game, you in the stand. Stop playing, man. Let's go.
When last time you bought a final call?
Oh, yeah, true.
Yeah, man. You see what I'm saying? We always want to stop. I mean, this is what I'm not doing. Yeah, everybody go buy a final call tomorrow. Everybody who watch it. The Muslims shouldn't have no papers in their hand tomorrow. Because you know what the Muslims going to do with the money?
True.
They're going to create other Muslims.
True.
You know what the Muslims going to do? They're going to keep your neighborhood safe. They're going to show your little girl ain't nothing wrong with wearing a long dress. They're going to teach your children they're the original people on earth. So you know what that little $2 going to do. So go and spend that little $2.
True. True.
That's it.
True.
That's it.
True.
That's it.
Assalamu alaikum. This is your brother, Nuri Muhammad. And whenever I'm searching for a source or a platform that I can get some news that I can use, I look forward to and look at, watch and listen to the Rockwell Radio Show. And I hope you would do the same.
Coming live through your speakers.
And right about now, you're tuned into the Rockwell Radio Show.
You on the radio every day, using your fame as a DJ.
It's DJ Rockwell. You're rocking with DJ Rockwell.
Ladies and gentlemen, big salute to ReaceYung. Big salute to ReaceYung. Go and support that brother. I'm proud of what he has done for the city, what he's doing for the city. It's 3-1-4 day, y'all, and I get to do an episode of the Rockwell Radio Show on 3-1-4 day. So I am absolutely happy, and I cannot thank these brothers enough for taking time out of their schedule to sit with their brother today. Because in St. Louis, as we speak, it's a lot of events going on. It's a lot of things happening in St. Louis right now. But they took a moment to hang with their little brother, and I'm forever humbled and forever grateful. the brother that I'm about to introduce you to right now, I could tell many stories. And again, before I bring him on, we need everybody to follow the 3 rules of the Rockwell Radio Show. That means subscribe, hit that like button, share the video, and tag somebody from St. Louis. Tag somebody from St. Louis because we're about to introduce a St. Louis icon, a living St. Louis legend, a brother who I have studied for many years. And I can say that with no joke. I have studied this brother for quite a number of years. You ever been at the age when you would be like, yo, that's Cool Odie right there. Yo, he playing tonight, I'm going. The times when you would get to the club and you wanted to get on, but you was too young. You wanted to get on the wheels and learn how to DJ. But I used to stand back and be like, that's how you do that. This brother is my OG. And I have been waiting to have this conversation with my OG for over 35 years. This brother didn't just represent us in the clubs. He represented hip hop culture on the radio, mix shows, and then he took it national with artists like Silk Smooth. And he's still relevant today and a highly sought after voice, mentor, and DJ in 2026. Before I bring my brother on, I want you all to watch this. I can find it. Where is it? Where is it? Watch this, y'all.
And St. Louis DJs Cut, Charlie Chan, G Wiz, Cool Odie, and Jim Gates' son, DJ Needles, all played a major role in pioneering hip-hop on both a national and local scale.
So that was the 80s run, 80s going into the 90s. Left radio to still doing this rhyme thing. Left radio and joined up with Silk Smooth to become the first artist out of St. Louis to sign the first major rap deal.
Sneaking and sneaking, I mean she's freaking but faking. They get you doing and go, now who's aching? You just got slicked by this trick out to steal your dough. She's all of that, but she still don't appeal to own.
Ladies and gentlemen, with no further delay, please welcome for the first time on the Rockwell Radio Show, my brother, my OG, and St. Louis icon, King Odie.
Thank you, brother. Thank you. Sincerely, you got me. You got me because I didn't know what you were going to play. I was sitting up there cracking. How you doing, brother? Thank you so much, man.
Oh, brother, man, I am so humbled the fact that you agreed to appear with your little brother. Man, how you feeling, Chief? And happy 314 day.
Happy 314 day to you too. Excuse the mess in the background. I got a lot going on, but I'm feeling great, man. For the first time in several years. Yeah, like I'm finally in a good spot and got a lot to get done. A lot to get done going forward.
Where do I begin? Let's start here. Let's start with the word legend. As you well know, people throw the word around all willy-nilly, quite a bit. But few from St. Louis, few, if any, could argue that the word is properly applied when talking about King Odie. Okay. How do you feel when people refer to you as a legend?
Well, now I'm 56 years old, so I accept it. I accept it with grace. I was fortunate. And this is going to sound like I'm bragging, but I promise you I'm not. Because of when I started. Let me say this. A lot of people, because of that song you played, attribute me to the 90s. But I take pride in letting people know that I'm really an 80s guy. Like as far as the ability, teaching myself how to mix and all those things, that started before hip hop went nationwide. So, you know, I'm a 79, 80s kid, stuff like that, you know what I mean, as it pertains to DJing and then that transitioning over to hip hop. In fact, you'll get a good kick out of this if you never knew. My original name was Grandmaster Superjack.
I remember that. I remember Super Jock.
Yeah, so it started with that, and when I was in high school, like Odie is my birth nickname. That's that's what my parents called me, and so I literally remember going, I want people to know me by Odie, and so one of my friends, Count Dracky Jam, rest in peace, went into the studio to record a song, and we're all talking at the end of that song. Once the song ends, we're just talking out, so it's a cappella stuff. And I recognize this is my moment because the decision had been made. And I just go, and yeah, this is Cool Odie, better known as the Grandmaster Super Jock, you know what I'm saying? And that's because we were still pressing vinyl back then. That's how I ended up being able to scratch my name when nobody else was really able to do that early. But how does it feel to be called a legend? People were calling me, this is the point I was saying when I said it sounded like I'm bragging. People were calling me a legend by the time I was 19, 20 years old.
How about that?
But so, and that was because I started so young. Just as you mentioned, being able to look at me as a youth, there was your Dr. Jockensteins, Larry Shepard's, the original Godfather, Curtis Boogeyman, so that everybody from WESL, which of course includes Gentleman Jim Gates and so forth, I was watching them. Larry Shepard, the original Godfather, that's who kind of cracked some doors open for me and let me into spots that I shouldn't have been at. I was way too young, but that was my breaking grounds. You know what I mean? So I'm starting legitimate mixtapes back then, cassettes and all that early. So when people were calling me a legend, by the time the Silk Smooth thing, because I'm like, I didn't accept it well there. I'm like, what are y'all talking about? I'm 21 years old. You know what I mean? So it just felt weird. Where now, as I got older and then, life takes you through whatever journeys you go through, you can kind of accept it with grace and appreciate even what they meant back then. Like my best friend Tommy, also rest in peace. When people would bring up back in the day memories, because I've always been a push forward person, just push forward. I wasn't one to reflect. My best friend had to get on me about not receiving compliments and all that stuff. Well, he was like, dude, people are just, you gave them good memories and this is their way of bringing it up. And so once I was given a different outlook, I was like, okay, all good. I can accept it now, so.
Oh, brother, man. I think, brother, you have earned it.
Well, thank you.
Earned it. I was an eyewitness of those years, brothers, in the 80s and 90s. Now, I left the city in 1994. When I left, you was Cool Odie.
Right.
When I got reacquainted with you on social media, I found you as King Odie. So tell me about the name switch and the journey from Cool to King.
Okay. So again, I just told you how I came up with Cool Odie. First off, I let's go back to Grandmaster Super Jock real quick. I was trying to speed through that. I took a liking or an appreciation, if you will, to Melly Mel. That was the first person who I heard and said, this person is different. You know what I mean? Like the moment I heard him on everything, you remember where hip hop was in the pre-Run DMC stages, and I'll even say pre-Melly Mel stages. It was a lot of rapping just to be rapping, didn't really make sense, but they were just having fun. So every time I caught a glimpse of Melly Mel, I remember my crew back then. I'm like, and this is the house party day. I'm like, hey man, this dude is different. So in fact, I got pictures of myself as a youngster. This is sad, but I had turntables in my room, the straight arm direct drive or belt drive turntables. The part I said is sad is because I'm in my drawers. I don't know why, but in that picture I'm on my drawers. But I have pictures all on my wall of Melly Mel or Flash and or Melly Mel and the Furious Five. So again, that was who I took a liking to. And so when he went from Melly Mel to Grandmaster Melly Mel. I went from Super Jock to Grandmaster Super. You know what I'm saying? This is who I wanted. You know. So yeah. So he just set the template as far as I rock with this dude. So again, the Cool Odie thing, I started recognizing the whole Grandmaster. First off, I was finding myself, and I also felt like that sounds dated. Now I need to move on from that. So Cool Odie, I run with that, not knowing that future radio opportunities and other things were coming. I had set them as a goal, but you just you don't know that they're coming. It's just whatever path life takes you. I actually came up with King Odie in 92.
Okay.
In 92. It just started off as just an email address. And I said, I think I like this. But of course, by that time, we are out on the road and back and forth in the studio and all these things as part of the Silk Smooth / Crew from the Lou Run. Shit, kind of two different entities that intertwine. But excuse me. But yeah, I had decided King Odie was where I was going anyway. It just took a while, to get there. And even in the present, I get a kick out of it now because I say I can tell when people met me. People who knew me before 2000, it's Cool Odie.
They say cool.
Right. It comes out in the heartbeat and they not trying to hear anything other than that. People who come to me and, hey, what's up, King? I mean, they say it with all the confidence. Those are people who knew me after 2000 because that's when it started to take off to whatever. So the kick I get out of the people who call me King Odie, obviously they're a little younger. And I've had people walk up to me and go, oh man, King Odie, you a legend, this and the other. And because, because they're 2000s people, I go, really? What did I do?
Right, you don't even know the story.
Right, just to see what So yeah, I have fun with that. So yeah,
that's what's up, ladies and gentlemen. King Odie's in the building. We want you all to follow the 3 steps of the Rockwell Radio Show. Hit that like button, hit that share button, and tag somebody from St. Louis to let them know you're watching King Odie on the Rockwell Radio Show.
Yes, sir.
Now let's take a step backwards to tell the story more accurately. Before the Silk Smooth era, before radio, describe the St. Louis hip hop scene for us. Who was there? Who were the notable crews of that day? What were the go-to clubs of that era? Paint a picture of that time. And what I want you to do after you do that is tell me, did you think at that time that St. Louis would make a splash on the national stage?
Okay. It's probably easier to work my way backwards, but I'm gonna try to do as you asked. Paint a picture of it. So, I would say that I came in as a little homie. So it's important to remember that I'm 11, 12 years old as the hip hop scene is starting to form here. So I'm bringing that up because I have big homies who are blessed to still be alive, who can provide names that I can't. What I do know is my story and some of what I experienced and some of what I heard. So from my experience, and I came up in Walnut Park.
Walnut Park.
No doubt. In Walnut Park, we had a very strong house party scene. I would say probably until about 85, 86. So hip hop existed in Walnut Park very strong. I heard of hip hop on the South Side. Luke Mine could tell you more about the South Side because he grew up in the Peabodys, although he was responsible for me becoming known on the South Side. I would make cassettes. He would take them that way, or he would tell people, oh man, it's this dude on the North Side, blah, 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 blah. I don't know about the West Side. I didn't learn much about the West Side until I attempted or until I was booked throw a party there. But prior to then, I heard of Chan in U City. I'm trying to. I can't put my finger from a DJ and or party perspective. I can't think of anyone else at the time. Not something will probably hit me when I'm not. Obviously, your Godfathers and people like that who were doing the bigger sets and all that. But hip hop was very much like you see the New York version. Every neighborhood, which of course was occupied with more schools and more houses and families and so, every community had their own version of hip hop, had their own neighborhood stars and all that. And I miss that so much. Like when I try to explain that to people who are born after 90 because they haven't seen it.
Sure.
You know, I used to tell them, I said, look, back then, it was fun. We didn't have a big picture of money and economics and so forth. It was just fun, and we were emulating what we thought it was all about. So you could just walk up to anybody who you heard rap, or somebody, hey man, I'm gonna go get my boy from around the corner. He gonna come around here and battle you. And it was just like that on the spot, whether you were rhyming or breakdancing. They were, you know, everything was on the spot and fun back then. Of the peak at that time, because again, the record business was not in anyone's mind. The peak at that time was being featured on Dr. Jockenstein's Roll Call show.
That was the end all be all.
If you could become a regular on there, yeah, no doubt. That was it. You could be a school star, a neighborhood star, you know, so on and so forth. And that's, I tell young people all the time, say, like, look here, if your mother, father, grandmother, grandfather, uncle, big sister, whatever, you know, depending on how old. I said, if somebody from back in the day tells you I was somebody at one point, they very possibly were. You know what I'm saying? Referring back to the 80s, because you could be a neighborhood star at that time and get booked for something. No one was thinking about the record business yet. But we were watching the baby grow. We were just building whatever it would become. You know, so that's my version of it. Who were the names outside of the DJs that I named?
Who were some of the crews?
Oh man. RET, P-Funk, the boys from Illinois, the boys from the state of MO. I'm gonna mess around, forget somebody, and then people gonna be mad at me. Obviously, the Golden Boys, GFC. Oh man, it was so many. It was so many, and it's not coming to my mind. I'm gonna get back. We gonna I'm gonna tell you what. When we commemorate Jockenstein's birthday, I'll have a better answer for you.
Matter of fact, let's do this for you who are watching along right now. If you were there back in the era, who was some of the crew? Help Brother Odie out now. Who were some of the crews that was rocking in 84, 85, 86? Here's what I
will tell you. I will not forget this. In the 80s, and this doesn't exist now, there used to be city versus county talent show. And the reason I can remember this with all the pride in the world is definitely the first one and possibly the first two. I'm not sure. Walnut Park cleaned up. They cleaned. Best DJs, best breakdancers, best rapper, everything. Walnut Park cleaned up. You hear me? So that's an early state. I mean, you talking about pride flowing all through the hood, boy. Yes, sir.
Okay, somebody might remember something here. Somebody's saying, okay, big cousin, they shouting you out, my brother. They
What
shouting
up,
you out.
Yanni? I'm sorry I ain't make it last night. I know you and Mike gonna cuss me out and all that other stuff, but I heard it was fantastic. Last night was the Animal House reunion here.
Oh, wow, wow. We're going to get to that in the conversation, matter of fact. Okay. So let's close out this question again with the last part of it being,
yes, sir.
Did you ever suspect that St. Louis would be a household name in the hip hop conversation nationally? Then
I think by 90, yes. Well, I'm gonna say this. I always thought we had it. There was never a point that I didn't think we had it. And in case you don't know, as the story goes, when I finally got my chance at radio, you know how mainstream controlled radio can go. There's a set of rules to follow and or don't follow, particularly in these small markets.
Sure.
Small markets. And one of the things was, don't be playing no local artists, you know. But
that was an actual stipulation.
Yes. And I tell people all the time, I was young and hard-headed and rebellious, and I also had heard radio from other markets, particularly New York and LA. And I heard how they were just kind of going at it, doing whatever, what seemed like whatever they wanted to.
Right.
So first thing they tried to do was control me by putting me on the 5 o'clock mix, which at that time was based around R&B and the whole New Jack Swing and, and all that. And just stick within this box and don't go outside of this box. This is that magic. Of course, I'm already breaking the rules because I was on Z100 at the same time. And over there, Godfather's letting me play whatever the heck I want to play. You know what I mean? So slap on the wrist, number one. What are you doing on 2 different stations? And well, I didn't know I couldn't. I didn't know I couldn't. So when they finally sit me down and say, well, hey, we need you to make a decision. At that time, Magic seems like the bigger option, and all that. And Captain G was always poking the bear, just kind of, he was letting me loose too. So the minute I got to do the nighttime and weekend stuff, don't put local artists in the mix, went out the window. People, I didn't care what I had you on. If it was on a cassette tape or whatever, if I could make it sound good, if I was doing it, And so, yeah, I always believed that the talent was always there. I didn't know the business at that time. I didn't know the business until I was in the business. But yeah, from a talent perspective, I've never not believed it.
Okay, well, I kind of asked you already. Well, you kind of gave us an insight, but as I said in the intro, you was my OG. Little did you know, man. I said I wonder if you knew how many people was looking like yo and doing this.
not until they started telling me. I'm not gonna say who. We have you and I have a mutual associate, super cool with him. He literally bought me, was it cassette tapes? Yeah, cassette tapes where he would record my mixes, cut my name out.
Wow.
he was like, man, you my boy, so I'm just gonna tell you I used to do this. I used to take your name out and tell people that was me and so on. And I had that happen a lot. One of the funnier things when I used to ride the bus, I met a brother on the bus who, this is while I'm on the radio, he told me he was me. He didn't know I was me. So he's telling me.
That is hilarious.
Absolutely hilarious. Absolutely. And I'm riding, like, first I'm baffled because I'm thinking this brother is playing. You know what I'm saying? And then he goes on like he is dead serious. Yeah, man, I'm Cool Odie, and I'm just listening, for real, you know what I'm saying? And right when it was time to get off, I told him, you know what I'm saying? But it was, man, I've had all kind of stuff, what they say, imitation is the sincerest form. So, but no, I didn't know until people started telling me, even in the 2000s, I've had DJs, from that time say that, hey man, you didn't know this, but you impacted me and you were an influence. And now the old man version of me, that stuff gets me all teary-eyed and stuff, where I used to be like, man, go on with all that.
Who in here cutting onions?
Right. Yeah, now. Hey, Side of Storm, I saw you pop up there. What's that with it?
Well, let me ask you this, man, and let me let everybody know this is 314 Day. We're celebrating 314 Day on the Rockwell Radio Show, and my guest tonight is the legendary King Odie, St. Louis's own. Let me jump here. Let's now approach the Silk Smooth era.
Do we have to? Okay, go ahead. Do we have to?
Well, check it the way I'm going to present it. Check this out. What did it mean to be attached at that time to the brother, and along with yourself, to be attached to the person that literally took the pen and put St. Louis on the national map? What did that mean to you at that time?
Well, first off, do you know how the situation came about? You do? You know?
I've never heard the story to this day. I've never heard the story.
So two things. Just like when I was saying wasn't supposed to play local music on the radio, he had a couple of songs that I played, during the Magic Mix and the Z100 mix, and he honored the game and basically came to me, for the option of being his DJ. But prior to that, we did the old school thing that to help him even get seen by record companies and industry people. We did the old school thing, which was back then you grabbing an album or a cassette or whatever, and remember, all the information would be on the back of it. So he and Hype Dog, shout out to Hype Dog, they had produced a bunch of cassette tapes, and we basically just found contacts and they mailed them off. So that's how Total Track and a couple of other labels ended up getting in touch with him. And like I said, again, because of all that, he just kind of said, well, hey, what's your thought as far as coming along as the DJ and so forth. So, that jump started everything.
Okay. So was there how did you feel about that moment? Because was there any pressure? Was there any man, you better represent us, bro, or was it natural for you? Because at the time, as we pointed out, nobody was on the national stage from St. Louis. Or am I wrong about that? No, you're right. Did I feel? I didn't feel any pressure because, I hate to, this sounds goofy, but it was his situation. It was what can we? The pressure, personally, was more on, let's try to get others. My mindset has always had an understanding of what record deals are and aren't. Even though I said earlier, I wasn't about the business until I became a part of the business. But I always, let's say this. You were in one of the record pools, weren't you? Yes. So
being in a record pool, you've come across many records that you thought were pretty solid that made no noise.
Mm-hmm.
So I always had that understanding that let's try to create options number 2, 3, 4, 5, whatever, just in case something doesn't go right. You know what I mean? I always thought from the time that he secured a situation, and his situation, of course, brought forth JCD and the Dog Pound, and Hype was part of Mad Flavor, and we were trying to secure things for the crew from the Lord and so forth. But it was always about, let's grow this tree just in case this one situation doesn't pan out the way we want it to.
Sure.
So again, the talent's there, but you learn the business once you're inside of the business. And being a part of Total Track, for those who don't remember, Total Track Productions is the same company that signed DJ Quick, Second to None, AMG, High C, Boss, Silk Smooth, JCD. There are a few others. It's just not, but yeah. So everybody was kind of sort of under the same umbrella. From that, and this is what I mean by things going wrong, Quick was the only one who was able to sustain a successful, longevity and multiple projects. So
out of all of those,
yeah. Think about that. Think about it. Everybody was there for each other as far as interacting and so forth. But through all that, through bad contracts and circumstances and so forth, Quick won. And what's funny about that is I met him before any of that.
How about that?
Captain G and I had flew out to Cali, and at the time there was a brother named Foot who had, I can't remember, he was over the record pool out there. I can't think of the name of the record pool. And so Foot had Quick's whole project in the demo form. So, even songs that didn't make the cut and all that. So we listening, and he comes walking in, and we just started talking and all that. And who would know, that once we started sending out cassette tapes and everything, we all land under the same situation.
Well, that's a story and a half right there. Ladies and gentlemen, King Odie's in the building.
Thought you knew that. I'm sorry.
Well, like I said, I've been waiting to have this conversation for over 30 years.
Okay.
Because I was just the little man out watching,
Okay.
So man, I'm honored just to have this conversation finally. Okay. Now you're in the door now. You're in the door, and I want to take a St. Louis curve on this. Being from St. Louis with artists that were from other major markets, did y'all ever get made to feel like, who these niggas? Who these guys? Did you
from them?
Or from anybody for that matter?
Yeah, out there, absolutely. You absolutely. When you're in someone else's neck of the woods, so to speak, yeah, they can make you feel like that. There were times when the working relationship felt solely like work, and it feels like, hey man, I'm being a little shunned here, or whatever the case. But I guess because my head was always on a swivel, not from a fear perspective, just I was always trying to pay attention and learn stuff. Like I saw little tidbits of the one that I tell people all the time is they would always ask us, they would say, you can get whatever you want to. Just make sure you give us the receipts. So I'm curious what's going on. Obviously now we know, we get the whole tax write-off thing and kickbacks and all that, but they don't tell you that. So I'm just watching, I'm watching how a lot of things are going down. A whole lot of the work that I did was work for hire. Again, learning as you go.
Learning as you go.
I knew about copyrights because I was already doing copyrights through the U.S. Library of Congress. So that part I was familiar. I wasn't familiar with publishing yet, but boy, your boy sure learned. You hear me?
And fast, I bet.
Yeah, no doubt. Because like I said, I wasn't ever really about kicking it. I was always trying to learn something. And I want to do this shout out again to Asada Storm, who chimed in. I don't know if she's still here, but I met her while she was out there recording. She's from St. Louis. We met. This is gonna sound crazy. We met at the Palladium, and had a lot of things in common. But when you first hear at something at the Palladium, what comes to mind? Let's see if it comes to mind.
Come on, backdoor to Palladium just for class. Ice-T.
That's not the one I thought you would hit you. That's not. Me and Eric B was chilling at the Palladium. And so
that might have been a close second.
So listen, no. So the irony in this is why I'm bringing this up. We met during a time when things were going kind of rough. By this time I've identified the lows and highs of some of this regular, and so I wasn't at my happiest. Ended up meeting sis, and she kept me uplifted while she was dealing with her own record deal situations, but she was responsible for keeping me uplifted during that whole Silk Smooth run. You dig? So I'm super special shout out when I say that, like real talk. I be joking around calling them my mahogany. That's why I mentioned them for later and thing. But no, it's all good.
Let's bring it back home.
Yes, sir.
Let's bring it back home. So now the record is out. Is getting
clientele first.
Is out.
Mm-hmm.
Did you get the support and the welcome feeling at home, in your opinion? Tell the truth, shame the devil.
To me, yes. Yes. I never yes, I think here's what I got from people who knew me. And Silk might have got the same thing. I don't know. What I got was, man, where you find that dude from? You know, again, this is when I hear me out. You know St. Louis. You know when people know you, and especially if you're from a particular area. So Walnut Park wants to know why you ain't grab nobody from Walnut Park. That's just how people are. When I say where you find that dude, that's what they say. Walnut Park was loaded with talent, but he got the first shot. And he asked me. So, you know what I'm saying? So like don't do that, y'all. Don't do that. You know what I mean? Let's just try to make the best of this situation. But I'm saying I imagine it's like that for everybody, you know. And I said he might have experienced the same thing too. Even though I was on the radio, he came from, if I'm not mistaken, the Cleetown area. It could have been people in the Cleetown going, man, why you with this dude? You know what I'm saying? I don't know. You know, that's just STL for you. You know.
Now, by the time clientele is popping, are you still actively employed on the air on radio job, or you had just let that move on?
No, I let that move. The moment I knew that we were going to be back and forth recording, yeah, it was parting from that. I tried to hold down a 9 to 5 for as long as they would allow me. You know what I mean? Like, oh, we going out here, we'll be back. Who knows? I don't know. But no, I was done with radio by that time.
Let's move the clock forward to Trick with a Good Rap. This is a song, man, that I was playing, dropping that record on clubs and seeing the club explode. Today, when you're out and you walk into a spot and somebody dropped that record, how do you feel when you hear Trick with a Good Rap today in 2026?
So,
and your verse comes on.
First off, I'm not out like I used to be, but that's about to change because I got future goals. And as a matter of fact, I went through a long window of not being out, you know, for various reasons, you know, but the luxury of these, you know, picture me and my mom. The luxury of those is people, this has never stopped. This has, in 30 years, 35 years almost, this has never stopped. People will either call or text me from the club to let me know the house DJ is playing this song. So I'm gracious, you know. I'm like, in my mind, I'm thinking, okay, what do you want me to do here? But no, it's cool, you know what I mean. So I'm very appreciative. I'm even with this day, with this particular day, I know every year that I'm blessed to be a part of a couple of joints that I know will be featured on radio, in the clubs, in the lounges, so on and so forth. So yeah, I'm always very grateful for that.
Brother, you make no mistake, you are a part of the culture at this point. You are a part of the culture. Ladies and gentlemen, I got my big brother, my OG, King Odie is with us tonight on the Rockwell Radio Show. We need everybody to follow the 3 rules of the Rockwell Radio Show. Hit that like button, subscribe, and by all means, tag somebody to let them know you're watching the Rockwell Radio Show with our guest.
Do that.
Come on. So let me ask you this as we get closer to the end. And I got some fun we're going to do at the end of the set. Okay. Let's go back to the club. Now, we're DJ to DJ here. You've played some of the hottest night spots in the Lou. Mm-hmm. And like I said, I'm a couple of years your junior, a few years, but I used to sneak in and just standing. And I was the guy looking on the corner, studying, watching what record he can pull out the crate next. No, don't play that. Oh, he got down with that one, So, man, but you know how DJs, we be the critics of other DJs.
Yeah.
But I was spank new, but you were the one in the cast that I studied. And me and Pepe would be leaning against the wall. Yo, watch this, watch him do this. And brother, class was in session anytime that you played. But here's what I want to ask you about the club era in St. Louis. What were some of the most memorable spots that you played? And can you tell us some stories?
Well, number one in my head and my heart is obviously the Animal House, even though I missed the reunion last night. That one holds a significance for me because I don't think there's ever going to be a teen spot like that ever again.
Ever. Come on, man.
And for as much as people do variations of an Animal House reunion and they tell stories about it, one of the things that's omitted, if you remember, was Friday night was totally different. Do you remember the significance of Friday night?
If I recall, it wasn't a rap night.
Friday night was white folks. And it was still packed. It was still packed. So you're not gonna find another spot like that where they appeal to the complete opposite ends of the spectrum, pack it out on back-to-back nights, and nothing but teenagers. You know what I mean?
Same location, right?
Yeah, same location, everything. Yeah. So that place, the Max, the Coliseum, the Garage. The Garage I got to spin for Public Enemy. I love that. And it was impromptu. So that was a good one. The Coliseum, for all the wrong reasons, my crew contributed to shutting that place down. But I mean, it was the joint. The Max, obviously, it has its historical purpose, historical position with the city, both sides of the water. Those are the ones that the Wiz. I'm trying to think of places on this side. The 10 Grand Flamingo. I don't know. I like I said, I've had my luxuries of Little Odie. Like Little Michael. Little Odie got snuck into both the Regal Room and the Royal Empire. Thank you, Godfather. And I wasn't supposed to be at the 10 Grand Flamingo either. But yeah, so again, thank you, Godfather. I just had some fantastic memories, man. Stories of so Animal House again, stories easily. Was the place where, again, we're talking 80s before the 90s, where all the current hot acts at that time came to perform. So I first off $5 admission, and the place is still packed out. But for $10, no more than 15, and that reminds me of the Fresh Fest and Def Jam and all that too. For $10, you're getting to see LL Cool J, UTFO, Houdini, Dougie Fresh, Mantronics, Salt and Pepper, so on. Just the list goes on and on and on. And that place was amazing, man. There's never gonna be nothing like that.
What I don't want to go down a rabbit hole. What could have been a close second in St. Louis history? I can't think of it to this day. I can't think of it.
To the Animal House?
To the Animal House.
Nah, that's not gonna. And I try. I respect. Each feeling is different to each set of generations, but there's like it's all we can do. I can't say it's indescribable. All we can do is describe it. Here's what I'll tell you. The 80s to young people is like a myth. You know what I mean? You think about this.
Absolutely true. True statement.
When we describe roll call, the only thing you can do is pull up, unless you have it on cassette, which I do have some. The only thing you can do is pull it up on on YouTube and let them see this is what we had. Yes, people could literally call and rap on the radio live, other than telling them about it, they can't fathom that because they just didn't experience it.
No such thing like it exists, right? Animal
House falls into the same category. We can describe it, but they can't fathom anything like that. It's just different. Everything about the 80s, like I said, breakdance battles on the spot, rap battles on the spot. You could get some DJ battles on the spot. I think one thing that puts a smile on my face that I think has changed now, but I don't know if this is true. And this may not have applied for everybody, but I know I could. I think maybe a little everybody could do this. DJs could walk in and get on other DJs' equipment. Now again, that ain't happening now unless y'all just really know each other. But yeah, somebody could bring you in and this my man. Oh, let him get on and then the bond builds from there. So yeah, it's a different time, bro. Different time.
Shout out and may God be pleased with DJ Pepe because he let me get on.
Yeah.
He let me get on. He was one of the ones that said, come on. Because you asked him one more time, I'm punching the face.
Mm-hmm.
So, and since we're on the DJ half of this conversation, and we're almost done, since we're on the DJ aspect of this conversation, what's different now than then as it relates to curating a set? What was it then? And I still try to answer this question to people who ask me, say, how do you know what records are going to tear this place down?
Okay. So
how did you know? And today, how does that differ? The choice of curating a set.
Okay, so let's couple of things. You said we're about to wrap it up, man. Look, I can stay on as long as you need me to. I love I can talk and I love this opportunity. So
come on, brother.
What was different between then versus now? The people who go to enjoy the music. That is the biggest difference. We DJ Cub and several of us were on a call a few days ago, and I said, since the inception of the video jukebox, if you remember the video jukebox,
of course,
their slogan was "Music You Control." And what I pointed out on that call is I said that changed the listener, that changed the trust in the DJ. Because before then, there was a trust of the DJ. Just look, I'm gonna drop some stuff that you know, that you don't know. It's in the 80s. I'm gonna play some stuff from the 70s. I'm gonna play some stuff from the 60s and infuse everything together. And because you trusted me, you stayed on the floor. If you were a DJ, you were trying to look and see, what is this person doing? And we all had that curiosity for each other. But again, like I said, the people who were going out then, if we dropped Ball of Confusion by the Temptations in the 80s, early 90s, they just kept on dancing. As opposed to now, the people who go out only want to hear what they know, what's already on their playlist in their phone, this, that, or the other. You know, DJs rocking off 9 songs a night for the most part. And if they step, what up, KB? And if they step outside of that, people are clearing the floor and treating the DJ as if they're whack when that isn't the case. You got people who are still putting into their craft, who some still have that ear to know this is going to be something in a little bit. But the people don't trust the DJ like they used to. One of my homies, DJ Show, shout out to Show, a few years ago, he was spinning at a place called the Courtyard, and he literally got on the mic and said, before he played the song, or when he dropped the song, he said, 6 weeks from now, y'all asses gonna be asking for this song, but all y'all dumbasses finna clear the floor. You know, and that's a heck of a way to approach the crowd that's supposed to be rocking with you.
How to break a record.
Yeah, you know, so a lot of what has changed, and that's part of it, is the people. Everyone has their own style. Even if you're taught by somebody else, you eventually develop into what's you. So it's like, Fly DX, what up, baby? Yes, sir. Yeah, so it's the DJ hasn't changed as much. You're just getting newer generations of DJs. And we have some issues here unfolded in the 314 with this artist DJ thing. I don't know if you know about it.
I don't. He'd open the door now. Well, I tell you what, we don't got to go there. We ain't got to go there. We keep it up.
We can do it on another episode if you want to, because
okay.
I will gladly speak freely on it. But again, you asked what's the difference. The DJs a lot of times now, more often than not, are being forced to stay within a certain window, be it by the nightclub owner, by the event promoter, by the people in attendance who want to hear the same song 4 times a night, you know, and stuff like that. So there doesn't seem to be a window of comfort as much for the DJ, unless that DJ has developed their own style that they constantly push on people and they promote, come out to hear. Gee whiz. People hear, when people go to hear Gee whiz, you know what you're going to get. So you're wasting your time trying to come up and say, can you play this? And it fits outside of, you know what I mean? So unless the DJ has built up, this is me and this is what I do, and come listen to this if this is what you want to hear. If they haven't built that up, they're in a struggle box of what they can play, combined with a possible packed place that sits at the table with a hookah and playing their hair and take pictures and posting, this place is lit, but ain't nothing really going on.
So let me ask you this as we move this forward a bit.
Yes, sir.
As it relates to the local scene and the city, and I guess I'm really talking about the spirit of the city, mm-hmm. the local camaraderie. What has the success of Nelly and Sexy Red done for the morale of the city, from your perspective, if anything at all?
It galvanizes people for a temporary window. Sexy Red being more polarizing than Nelly. Even though people had, they were polarizing opinions about his run and the Lunatics and so forth. Let me say this. People always want to see more, regardless to what you achieve. They're happy for you, but they want to see more. Let me share this with you real quick. I talked to Luke Bond a couple of days ago. Shout out to Lil Bro. and we were just having a one-on-one. And I said, now this gonna offend some people, and I'm not saying it to offend you. I'm gonna explain why I said what I said. I said, hey man, the streets always ruin it. You know that? And he said, why you say that? I said, they do it unknowingly. Here's what the streets do. Let's say Rockwell releases a project, and to garner the attention of that project, your first song is a commercially mainstream song to grab people's attention. The streets gonna go, man, that's all right, but he ain't represent the hood. Wait. So now there's a checklist. Okay, so let's say you do this song and you name the hood. Then somebody gonna go, he ain't represent the block. Okay, so now you do the joint, represent the hood, represent the block. Well, they ain't named this block.
Hey, shout out my mom and them, my address.
Oh, we getting there. So then you name the whole hood, you name the block. You're absolutely right. Then they're gonna go, man, he ain't say Miss Johnson. Miss Johnson used to feed everybody. Damn, bro. Come on,
can't
man.
Win, bro. You can't win.
And the thing is, so then let's say you hit all the checklists. You name this, you name that, you name that. Man, they ain't even from here for real. They just, you know what I'm saying? It's always you like, oh, come on, man. You know what I mean? You can't just be happy that this person is getting their opportunity. That hopefully, you know what I'm saying? So and it's always the streets. Like I said, I think it's unintentional, but you know what I'm saying? So it's just something to tap on, just something to think about. I think they mean well, but it's always somebody going, he ain't hit that, man. He or she didn't hit, you know, whatever the case. Sexy Red, Nelly, and everyone in between. There's still hope. There are some corners to turn as far as new generations, other sounds, growth outside of hip hop, the subgenres within hip hop respecting each other. That's really important. Accepting that we all not gonna do it the same, but still acknowledging, you know what I mean? Like, so all of this is important. Is so much room to excel and succeed. You know, we just got to have appreciation for each other in this market, and it even extends beyond music.
Right.
Going back into the 90s and coming forward, until I started dealing with poets, I didn't know the poetry scene was cliquish. I had to hear from other poets that the poets are broke up in cliques and the comedians are broke up in, you know what I mean? So I was smiling when Reese mentioned stepping outside of your market, because that was I was gonna come on here and talk about that anyway. St. Louis has an energy about it that you don't even know it's abnormal if it's all you've experienced. You got to leave and go other places to see this is abnormal, you know. And it's funny because when artists and I mean recording artists, but I also mean graffiti artists and people when people from elsewhere come here and they get a feel for it, they be like, what's wrong with y'all? What's wrong with y'all? Why is it like, who knows?
Let's test
that. I don't know. I'm almost 60 and it's been like this before me. I don't know. You know?
Let's touch that a little deeper here real quick. And I got one more question to ask after this one.
Yes, sir.
How, for those who are watching, they see us celebrate 314 Day. They see us rock the STL and the red and white, all that. They watch us do that, you know. How would you describe the culture of the city to somebody who's never been to the Lou?
The culture for 314 Day or in total? The culture for
right.
The culture for 314 Day is beautiful. It's genuinely amazing, and it breaks down barriers. 314 Day is not just Black/urban anymore. It is mainstream Missouri, because white, Latino, Asian, all form of Hispanics, I'm sorry, everybody now here honors 314 Day in some way, shape, or form. So the peace and camaraderie that we seem to generate for this one day, man, I wish this could be all the time. Like seriously, even when Wag get everybody together and they drop their version of a dance video every time. Last year I said, damn, why don't everybody dance like this in the club? So yes, the energy that people put aside their hostility and negativity and stupidity and all those things. Why can't we be this variation of St. Louis all the time? We have so much to accomplish. We still got so much to accomplish. Why can't we don't only support Black business or small business or whatever on 314? That's a great time to support them, but don't just only do that, dude. Let's do it all the time. Let's do it all the time.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're listening to King Odie. You hear it right from his mouth.
Let's not only open up our minds to accepting or embracing St. Louis music on 314 Day. Let's change the culture and start trying to embrace it in totality. You know what I mean? Like, again, this goes back to saying, trust the DJ. Let them do what they do. First off, every artist is somebody's child. Every artist is somebody's child. They're possibly somebody's niece, nephew, cousin, neighbor, whatever the case, schoolmate, class. So try to keep that in mind.
Right.
And try, of course, everything ain't gonna be great, but instead of trying to poo-poo this music that you don't know, open your mind to we need this music more to represent the culture. Don't only do it when it's your child that you want people to hear. Mm-hmm. Open it up for everybody. Open that up for every producer, every music producer, every comedian, every entrepreneur, because we got so many aspiring entrepreneurs here. Let's change this mindset. And let me say this, because this is important. Recording artists, entrepreneurs, everything else, we have to do better at accepting criticism. Like you don't get better if you can't accept criticism. You know what I mean? Or you don't learn that maybe this ain't for you if you don't accept criticism. I joke about this. I said, man, I remember when we were younger and people asked for our feedback on their music. They really did want to know what we thought. They didn't mean tell me I'm great, and if you got anything bad to say, keep it to yourself.
Right.
Right. So yeah, the artists, recording artists, anybody's, or if there's a parent, a friend, or anybody, please share this part with anybody who's an aspiring recording artist. People don't have to like your music. They're not going to like everything that you do. When you don't get the feedback that you were hoping for, learn to just say thank you anyway. Learn to ask. If they don't tell you what they didn't like about it, ask them, what didn't you like about it? Valuable information, artists. Listen to that, please. And thank them for their opinion, their time and their opinion. Even if they say, your music absolutely sucked, find a way to say thank you, because here's a couple of things I learned. When we did Ghetto Fabulous, brother told us he didn't like the song because there wasn't enough cussing in there for him. It's a radio song, bro. What are you talking about? But it's okay. Thank you. There's nothing I can do with that. You told me what you didn't like about it. And thank you. I appreciate your opinion. So first off, learn to just take what you're given, evaluate it however. Some things are going to make sense, some things aren't. But also, sometimes when people find out you're cool or you're nice, they end up two things. If they find out you're cool and you're nice, sometimes they put somebody else onto it, even if they didn't care for it. You know, or you might end up being super cool with that person down the road, even though y'all first impressions weren't the best.
That's good advice. That's good advice, sir.
Yep, that's real talk. I mean, and that applies to everything. That applies. Comedians bomb
all the time
and pick themselves up. And, you know, so we just got to learn to transfer that into every aspect of life. When you set goals, sometimes you might bomb, and somebody might drive you about bombing. That's all right. You pick yourself up. You keep
okay, brother. We're at the end. Let me start to land this plane here, and I want to get you on the record because I never known. I just don't know, so I want to ask you this: Or do you consider yourself officially retired from the DJ scene, or do you still get it in every now and then?
Can you see that behind me?
I can't quite see it. No.
Okay. Well, I could call this place Mix Central.
Come on now.
Cause I got at least 4 setups right here.
Hold on, let me pull you up. Let me pull you up big screen. Now step aside again. Okay, now I see you. Okay.
Yeah, but
I see you.
I got at least 4 setups here. And no, there's a return coming with a purpose. I'm committed to helping the hometown artists. So there are a whole lot of younger artists who don't know me, but they're gonna, you know, as long as I'm spared on this planet, they're gonna know me real soon because I got goals, I got surprises, so on and so forth. Yeah, you know.
Do you think that we ever age out of hip hop?
I've seen some people do it, and I don't get it. Like ultimately, the answer is no, because even my partners from my original crew, the ones that are still here, my boy Cool Keith say all the time, man, nobody outgrow no hip hop. You know, he says that all the time. You know, and for the ones who do, like, it's strange to me. Like if somebody says, well, you know, I'm saved now, you know, and you do know it's Christian hip hop.
Exactly.
Yeah. So, you know, it just, you know, KB said you don't outgrow hip hop. No doubt. It doesn't, you know, if that was a fun time in your life, you don't outgrow it. I am at the point now of trying to encourage people to be more involved in their grandkids' lives, and like if you had some experiences, you know, and they said, hey, don't let it go. These young people need you, you know. And I'm trying to encourage young people to have fun because, like I said, if you're born after 90, if you're born, as a matter of fact, if you're born after 86, hip hop was officially here when you were born. You know what I mean? Like it had hit that point where once you cross 86, oh, it's here now. You remember everything before that, they were debating if it was going to be a passing fad and all that stuff. You're born at 86. It was here. By the time you're 10, it's 96, 97. Things have changed. You've gone through the Woo and Bad Boy and all that. And so I'm saying all that to say you don't have that appreciation that the people who that saw it before it really existed nationwide.
You and I are both old enough to remember a time when they wouldn't play hip hop on the radio except at night or on the weekends.
Absolutely. My dude, Tight Tracks, what happened with you? Just saw him chime in.
My brother, we are at the end I want to thank you so much for taking time out of your 314 day to spend it with your brother DJ Rockwell on the Rockwell Radio Show. Yes, I want to land this plane by playing this quick game with you. I wrote a list of some names and some places. And what I want to do is shout out these names and places. And many of them we've already discussed, you've already spoken out loud about. Okay. And all I want you to do is when I say the name, tell me the first memory or thought that comes to mind when I say these names. 10 names, 10 places. Are you ready?
Ooh, oh my God, you're about to challenge the heck out of me. I can't do this. Hell, I can't. I'll be on my own podcast and can't do this. So I know I'm about to fail, bro. It's okay. It's all right.
Oh, matter of fact, you know what? I'm glad you said that. Before we get to this game, tell the people about Grounded Up Podcast.
Okay, hold on, real quick. I gotta do this because I keep my moms with me at all times, man. I lost her in 22, and yes, sir. I keep. I know it was cutting off on there, so
go ahead.
Y'all see me on. I'm always gonna have some variation of my mom with me. I got my class chain on, so I just started rocking that, and I didn't know that they had stopped doing class rings. But okay, let's get to the thing.
No, say mom's name for the record. Say her name.
Oh, Dolores Johnson. Dolores Johnson. This Dolores' son right here.
Long live Dolores Johnson.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Come on. Long live Dolores Johnson.
Mm-hmm. Y'all wouldn't have any variation of Odie without her because she supported everything I ever did. You hear me?
Come on now. Come on.
Moms love the roll call music. My mother in her 80s would walk around the house going, did it? Did it? I'm not playing, bro. She really was.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's great, man.
Yeah, let's get it.
Real quick, before we go to the last spot, give us a quick synopsis of your podcast, Grounded Up.
Grounded Up Podcast. We're on all platforms every Thursday night at 7 p.m. St. Louis time, which of course is 8 p.m. Eastern. It is. I'm 1/4 of the Grounded Up Podcast crew, but we are steady growing. It's myself, brother named Nice, who's the vision of everything, Jack Cowboy Stice, and Mark Mauer of Guns and Ranges. We cover everything. Here's the crazy thing. All four of us come from the entertainment industry, and that's kind of sort of how we knew each other. But in addition to covering entertainment, which is almost, obvious, we cover so many things outside of that, from home health care to community and social issues and just all kind of stuff. I would ask everyone, tap in. Like I said, it's the Grinded Up Podcast. We're on all social media platforms as well as YouTube, Amazon, so on and so forth. You just search Grinded Up. We got short reels running all day. If you subscribe, you'll find out. And we're new. We've only been at it a few months. Open to criticism. We love to hear what you like and don't like and so forth. So again, Grinded Up Podcast and just lock in. Y'all will get a kick out of it.
I have tuned in to an episode and y'all are having a ball. Y'all are having a ball.
Yeah,
so definitely.
I just clowned last Thursday, but it's all good. Let's do the 10. Let's see what
let's get to it. Let's get to it. 10 names or places.
Is this a pass-fail thing?
No,
okay,
not at all.
Good.
But I'm glad you said that. If there's somebody or something that you just want to rather pass, you could say pass.
No. What I meant by it is this you're going to ask 10 questions. Is this a case where I could pass or fail? That's what I meant.
No. They're not even questions. They're just names and places. And all I'm asking for you is give me a memory of the first thing that comes to mind when you hear this name or place. It could be a one-word answer, or it could be a whole story, whatever that inspires you to say.
Let's do it.
And again, many of these you've already covered. First name on the list, first place on the list. Animal House, first memory, first thing.
Greatest ever. Greatest party scene ever in St. Louis.
Number 2, Big Bob.
The big homie, man. Bob was, I guess you already knew this because you caught me with that one. Bob was on the road with us. very instrumental in a lot of the road experiences during the Silk Smooth run. My best friend, can I tell a story real quick?
Of course, this is your time.
My best friend Tommy, again, rest in peace, was gonna beat up AMG and in Colombia. And AMG pulls a gun out and he's like, "Oh, dog, you better use it, cause if you don't, I just need you to know I'm gonna break your jaw." So then he goes, "Oh, and don't think Bob gonna help you. He from St. Louis. He damn sure ain't gonna help you." And Tommy was like, and then Bob tried to help, I'll sit his ass down too. It's like he just kept telling him, "Dude, I'm gonna break." He said, "I'm gonna let you go out there and perform, and after you perform, I'm gonna break your jaw." So it's just, that's my memory of Big Bob and Tommy, dog.
Man, I remember Big Bob at the door of the club, man. Okay, let's keep going.
Yes, sir.
The Max.
The Max. Galloway. That's obviously the first word that comes to mind. I can't read right now, son. I got you. The Max. The silliest thing that comes to mind, I can't remember what the name of it was, but they used to have private exotic dancer shows. It was like for women only. I can't remember the name of it to save my life. And some dudes, sometime dudes, and came up in there and caught they chick acting a fool or whatever, and it didn't turn out so well. But the Max was awesome. Shout out to Eric and Lynn. Eric been buying paint for me. But yeah, the Max was awesome, man. They had performances there, and that was one of the spots Ted broke the house music through and all that. But yeah, Max was awesome.
Name number 4, G Wiz.
The guy Pops. I tell Wiz all the time, man. He makes me feel like a teenager when I'm listening. I meant that sincerely. Excuse me. When Wiz gets to doing his thing, I feel good. Like, I like when I can sit back and listen to somebody spin and I feel good about it. Like, no matter where he goes, I feel my teenagehood or my childhood if he goes back even further. So love G Wiz, man. That's my bro. Yes, sir. And today, because again, listening to Reese, I didn't know that Wiz were instrumental. Like, I met the brother a couple of years ago. To my Reese, that is, and we still have yet to meet in person. We've talked on the phone a few times. He shared his music with me. I have a genuine appreciation for him. Never knew Wiz was responsible for him, and I didn't know he had been in the game since '99. So all of that was an awakening for me today. But yeah, love G Wiz, man. I've told him many times, like, dead ass, man. You taking me back to feel young again.
That brother is amazing because he keeps his hand on every generation. Mm-hmm. He has impacted from 80s, 90s, 2000s, now 2020. G Wiz, if you watch it,
and that's what I try. That's what I try to do.
Absolutely. All right, number 5, Magic 108.
I'm trying to come up with something.
The long pause.
Yeah. Captain G, rest in peace. Mel Devon, rest in peace. Those were the backbone of my window there. Some good memories, some weird memories. I'm not gonna turn anything, into a negative. Opportunistic. It provided me an opportunity. So that's how that's
Good place to stop.
Mm-hmm.
Name number 6, DJ Cut.
My man. Goldbug, because we both went to the same high school. Wishing him the best during this time. Genuine love for dude. We got to know each other a lot better in the 2000s. And so again, much like G Wiz, there's a personal appreciation. Greatness, you know, I talked to him before. We had a private talk. Well, you know what? I'm thinking about before he left to go to New York and all that. But yeah, genuine appreciation, greatness, mental growth. I've seen a lot in Cut, man. So yeah, that's my man.
Name and place number 7, River Roads Mall.
My childhood, the dopeness. You know what I mean? Yeah, just fun time. Anything like California t-shirts is obviously what comes to mind first. But
wow, you went back on that one.
Yeah, I think Woolworth was there.
Mm-hmm.
Just fun times, man. Fun times. You know. Like
all right, now
like everything else, it vanishes. But yeah,
vanished indeed. Mm-hmm. Name number 8, Gus Fashion.
So that's kind of a weird one for me. I feel like that teeters more into the 90s. I was never. I feel like I was only there for business purposes. Like, whenever something, I don't know, it just wasn't, I don't have, even though I met him several times and all that, I didn't have those ties to Gus Fashion that many people did. If I was there, I had to be there for some type of photo op or something like, it was always something music business related. So.
Gotcha. Okay. Name number 9. Tossing Ted.
Then to now. That's like that's the best phrase I can. Then to now. I would say consistency. Ted is fun, funny, and knowledgeable, but I say consistency because the same Ted that you get now is the same Ted that you got. Like Ted will join your ass in a heartbeat. He just will, but you like he's been a mentor and a door opener, for a lot of people and all that stuff. So, like I said, genuine appreciation for him, genuine appreciation for his consistency and so forth. So again, that's my man, and Ted is one of those people who got to see me before I grew into, the person I need to be. So, yeah.
Okay, brother, this is the last name on the list. And again, first thought that comes to mind, you can say whatever you want to say. Silk Smooth.
The first.
No elaboration? Or none needed?
My picture isn't frozen. Okay. Actually, hold on. Actually, maybe it is. Maybe it is now. Wait a minute. Hold on. That's crazy. I said that, and it actually froze. So I'm looking.
That's sure what I thought.
That was hilarious. Because I was just sitting still. I guess, I don't know, maybe my camera said, what's going on? So, wait a minute. Is it frozen now? Because it doesn't look like it's moving on my end.
Okay, it's stop and go, but okay. But at that particular moment, it was a freeze frame if I ever saw one.
Wait, but that's so hilarious. I mean, what do I do to get it unfrozen? Okay, I guess I can't get it unfrozen. That's so hilarious because I said it and I just sat there. So I froze.
The universe hears you, brother.
Right. Wow. And now it's in a froze. Look, it's in a slow-mo state. Okay. Huh.
Well, you're fine on our side. I can see you clearly, and you seem to be.
Oh, okay. On my screen. Wait a minute. So you see my hands moving?
I do.
Okay. All right. Well, okay. All right.
Okay. So that's a sign it's time for us to get off. So, brother, man, I thank you. I honor you. I respect you, brother, and for the work you have done and continue to do. I'm going to give the last word to you for anything you want to say to those who are celebrating 314 Day across the city, across the nation. Anything else you want to give of inspiration to those who are watching the Rockwell Radio Show? The chances towards you.
To everyone celebrating 314 Day, first and foremost, thank you for tuning in. For those who tuned in to us live, feel free to share this episode with others if y'all like what we're talking about, and tell everybody to subscribe to the Rockwell Radio Show going forward for those who haven't. Also, for those who are new to me, for the artists, I'm coming. I'm here for you all the time. And some things are going to be changing over the course from 314 Day to the next. That much I can guarantee you. All right?
My brother, I cannot thank you enough for what you have done for the city, what you have done for the culture, and you are welcome here anytime on the Rockwell Radio Show. Ladies and gentlemen, that's the show. That's the set. We are out of here. Salute.
More to come, bro. Appreciate you.
Yes, sir.
Now, if you got past all of that, you might as well keep on rocking with us. So come on, everybody, let's go. The radio show, y'all. The Rockwell Radio Show. Come on, Rockwell Radio Show, y'all. The Rockwell Radio Show. The Rockwell Radio Show, y'all. The Rockwell Radio Show. The Rockwell Radio Show, y'all. The Rockwell Radio Show. The Rockwell Radio Show. Let me shoot you around. Rockwell Radio Show. The Rockwell Radio Show. The Rockwell Radio Show. The Rockwell Radio Show, y'all. The Rockwell Radio Show. The Rockwell Radio Show. The Rockwell Radio Show. Come on now, y'all. Yeah. It was a dope episode, man. Come on now. Stop tripping.